Now, you can't choose your family, but even dead relatives have the power to shock. Last year, Heinrich Lenkeit, German-born, now living in Spain, stumbled across a huge family secret whilst browsing online. One of his grandfathers was Heinrich Himmler. Himmler, who killed himself after he was caught by the Allies in 1945, had been one of the most powerful of Nazi leaders. He headed the feared SS, as Interior Minister was in charge of the Gestapo, the police, and advocated the complete annihilation of Jewish people throughout occupied Europe. Many indeed regard him as the principal architect of the Holocaust. Heinrich is a couples counsellor as well as a pastor part-time. When we spoke earlier, I asked first how exactly he discovered the connection.
You can imagine a year ago, August, well, more than a year actually, I had a bad night. 7 a.m. we had prayer meeting, then breakfast as usual. We had a guy from marketing with us from the church. We went home. Yeah, and then I was trying to kind of get distracted. I was wanting to read the Bible, but I just saw letters, so I couldn't really read. And I was too tired to pray or whatever. And I said, okay, let's see if there's some football around. There wasn't, of course, at this time. And so I came to the Spiegel Online. And there was such a series about, for example, who was Himmler, people like that. There were also little sections about, do you want to know what your grandparents did in the Second World War or in the time? And from my father's side, I knew my other grandfather was a convinced Nazi. We knew that. So I thought, nothing wrong. Then I saw that about Himmler. That was a video, actually. And I said, video's fine now. I can watch that.
So having seen this programme, you thought you'd Google Heinrich Himmler, find out a bit more about his life, because he'd been in this programme.
And then I was Googling. I've seen, Himmler was married. All right. Yeah, that's interesting to know. And then I've seen later he had an affair. And this affair, I've seen the picture. She looked like my grandmother. I said, what's that? And then I've seen the name Hedwig. My grandmother was called Hedwig. So you see, excuse me, and you see your grandmother on Wikipedia, which is strange enough. I actually interrupted the video. I think after 10 minutes or so, I said, let's Google around. And then I was I saw her surname, and her surname was Potthast. I said, my grand aunt was called Potthast. In this moment, I did not realize, of course, they were sisters. But both were born in Cologne. I was I knew my grand aunt lived in Cologne and all that. For me, my grandmother, she's always been living in the south. She died in Baden-Baden, that's South Germany. So for me, she was always a woman from the south.
And were you alive when she died? I mean, do you remember her?
Yeah. I was 18 years old.
And she never mentioned this?
No, of course not. Nobody did.